Hey guys, it's Hans Hobbies, and today I have another update video about my Traxxas 1/16 scale Summit. The Mini Summit is definitely one of my favorite RC cars that I own, and I work on this thing and drive this thing quite a lot. Um, and for the most part, it has been a very reliable car and a lot of fun to drive and just really fun to even just look at. So I absolutely love this car. But before I gush on about it, you can kind of tell if you've seen my previous videos about my mini summit. It looks quite different, and I've made some significant changes to it since my last update video, my little video log of my ongoing project with the mini summit. And the project I've been working on is kind of like a all-around RC kind of thing, where you can do a little bit of crawling while I can, and also do a little bit of bashing while also doing some track driving and stuff like that. Just one stop shop for all sorts of RC, land RC shenanigans. And the previous video talked mostly about some of the tuning changes I made to the diffs and stuff like that. Here I've made some more changes. The most significant of which, as you can tell, is the body. This is the stock body, as the this is the same Traxxas stock Mini Summit body, but I bought the clear body so I could paint it myself, and I got MCI Racing Redbull short course truck decals that I downsized in order to fit this smaller body. And I've painted it with Tamiya paint in this kind of Red Bull scheme with the blue and the silver. And honestly, I think it turned out fantastic. I kind of messed up my masking, but I was able to save it. Um, and I think overall it turned out really good. I have this kind of matte finish over the whole body, which gives it a nice tough look, and just overall looks fantastic, I think. Just looking around the body, you had the Red Bull there, 48, all the little sponsor decals on there. On the back, silver here. And then on the other side, same thing. And then the front, got BF Goodrich on the hood and Red Bull again on the hood and all that good stuff. So when I masked this, I masked it incorrectly. So I masked it kind of like right here and then straight across like that. And which left this, no wait, no, all the way up and then like this. So this where you see the silver here would be silver, but the top here was blue, which was not the correct color scheme I was going for. So what I had to end up doing is on this like rear cab area, um, basically take an X-Acto knife and peel off the outer film and paint it silver on the outside to kind of match, and then coat the whole thing in Tamiya flat clear in order to match the flat of the silver that was painted on the outside. And overall, you can't really tell that I painted it on the outside. And it's silver on the inside, I believe. No, it's blue on the inside. Never mind. But like, um, you can't tell that I painted on the outside. And overall, I think it turned out really good. I absolutely love the way this thing turned out. I also originally had the windows in Windows Clear. I used the Windows stickers that come on it and come for it as window masks, and then use them to mask out the windows. But it looked really good clear. But I ended up spraying them again in just black because there's so much stuff underneath the body with a huge motor in the middle and then all the wires and stuff, and then the wiring for the light kit and stuff like that. And it didn't look very good when it was on the truck, so I just ended up blacking out the whole thing. And I think it looks just as good and looks way better than having just a sticker there, I think. So I'm really happy with how this turned out. The only thing I will probably add in the future is maybe a sponsor or sticker or some sort of sticker up here as kind of like a banner. But other than that, I really wouldn't change much about how this body turned out. It turned out fantastic. For the front headlight and grill sticker out of the box, Traxxas has like a clear sticker piece that like connects the headlight and the grill together. I basically cut them out individually so it won't have that little clear thing right there, which ends up collecting dirt and it looks bad later on. So I just cut them out individually and uh, fit them there, and that looks nice and clean as well. Just overall love the look of the Summit body in general, and it looks even more fantastic. And just it looks like it should have come like this, honestly, like a Red Bull version. So it looks very cool. The cage also, I got a brand new cage because the old one was pretty battered. And the nice thing about the cage is it really protects your paint job. The stock body on it, the original rock and roll body that I have for this mini summit, I bashed this thing a lot and pretty hard, and the stock body is still in basically mint condition. So that gives me high hopes for me preserving my paint job. And the cage itself is not even that expensive. I think it's like 15, 20 bucks, and it mostly chews up the cage instead of the actual body, which is very, very nice. I had to transfer over the light kit up here from the old body, and that stood up really well. So that didn't have any damage on it for the most part. It has a little bit of scratching up on top, but other than that, it doesn't really have that much damage on it. And then I also got brand new bumpers for it. The rear bumper actually broke, and while I was replacing stuff, I just replaced the entire rear bumper and the entire front bumper as well. So it's nice and shiny to go with the new body. And then taking the body off, I have made. Oh, actually, I don't even have to take. Oh, I'll take the body off. So taking the body off, I have also made some other internal changes. I backed the body also in black underneath, so it looks much nicer instead of the white screen printing that the stock body has. You can see here I have the parallel connector, white connector here, so I can use both battery trays, so I can have an extended battery life. The batteries that you usually get for these are, because they're mini batteries, they tend to be small capacity, so it's nice to have the parallel connector to basically double your battery life. So I have that set up. I will be putting IC3 connectors on here, so I don't have to use the Traxxas connectors anymore, because I don't really have a proper charging system for Traxxas connectors. So I will have to switch these out for IC3, which I'll be doing very, very soon. So consider that already done. Another thing I did was, I don't know if I mentioned it in the previous video, I retuned the shocks. I have the purple springs on here, along with, I believe, 40 weight oil in the shocks, and that tuned up the shocks so they perform way better. Before it would just slap the ground if it bounced up, just even at very slow speed, it would constantly slap the chassis. But with the new spring and shock oil setup, it's a lot more plush. It actually damps, and the suspension actually functions like it's supposed to. So that's very nice. I'm really happy with that. I also switched out the receiver for like my generic Spectrum signal receiver, so I can use my DX4S transmitter. I also cut the antenna tube down so it doesn't stick out all the way, so that looks much cleaner as well. And then the last thing I did was I put in the Mini E Revo drive shafts, both front and rear. And the reason for that is because the only thing that I keep breaking, the only point of unreliability that this truck has shown so far in all of my bashing and driving and all that, is the drive shafts. The stock Traxxas Mini Summit drive shafts are these like CV joint shafts, but unfortunately the pins, they're metal at the actual at the actual like CV joint, but they go into plastic drive shafts, and surprisingly the plastic is not the part that breaks. It's actually the metal pin in the actual metal the steel CV axle that constantly snaps on one side, um, and causes you to basically lose that drive shaft. And I got tired of replacing those drive shafts. I think I've replaced probably I replaced the drive shaft probably 4 or 5 times now, and they're not cheap. So they come in halves. They are the telescoping style drive shafts, and the outer half and the inner half are separate parts. And Traxxas charges you like $12 per half of them and they don't come in pairs or anything. It's just individually. $12 for one half and then $12 for the other half, and it gets very expensive very quickly. And I got tired of replacing them, and the reason that the pin breaks is because, unfortunately, the pin is a very, very thin pin. So any sort of like sudden load or impact on the drive shafts, they'll just snap, and that's really unfortunate. So I've been looking for some more durable and like alternative drive shaft options for this truck. And I fit the e-Revo shafts on just to see if they would fit, because Traxxas makes a steel drive shaft upgrade for the Mini e-Revo, and if the Mini e-Revo stock axles fit, I would presume the upgrade axles fit. But I've also seen reports that those aren't that durable either, and they're also very expensive. So I probably won't be going that route. Instead, I'm trying out these stock Mini e-Revo drive shafts. They're not as fancy as the Summit ones. They're just like this typical kind of U-joint kind of drive shaft. But these do have much thicker metal pins for the drive shaft. So I'm hoping these will be a little bit more durable. And I haven't really seen reports of people having issues breaking their drive shafts with their Mini e-Revos. Granted, the Mini e-Revo has smaller tires than the Summit, but still, these don't bind or anything, even with the long travel rockers on the Summit. So they seem like they're gonna they're gonna work pretty well. The drive shaft angle also isn't terrible, so I'm hoping these work pretty well and hold up. I also have upgraded like aluminum CV style drive shafts coming in from Amazon. So I will try those out and give you a review of those, hopefully. Um, we'll have to see. I mostly break it when I drive it at the skate park, which is a pretty extreme situation to drive the truck at. But I've also driven the truck just in regular off-road situation, just doing jumps off my like little ramp and stuff, and I've still ended up breaking drive shafts. So it's kind of like a um, weak point on this truck, I think. But slowly, I think I'm going to, as soon as I get a really durable drive shaft, this thing's gonna be absolutely bulletproof. Especially with the 20 turn motor, it's not that fast. It's not really gonna break arms or anything. So it's been holding up really well. Hopefully those e-Revo drive shafts are a decent upgrade for it, durability wise. Um, but yeah, otherwise, I still have the stock tires on it. I love the way the stock tires look. I love the way the stock wheels look, and they perform just fine for what I'm looking for. So no complaints there. And now since the body even looks fantastic, makes me want to drive this thing even more, and I can't keep my hands off this thing. So that's my little quick update video with for my Traxxas Mini Summit. I will have more driving videos of this guy coming up. Coming up, I think I might be don't quote me on this, but I might be going to a family trip to Cancun. So hopefully you'll see this thing at the beach. Um, if the drive shafts hold up. And I'll report back to you on how these drive shafts hold up and any other updates I have with this truck. I still have to tune the diffs again because these are a little bit loose for my liking. So I'm gonna try to see if I can put thicker diff fluid in there. So I still have to work on that. But other than that, I think, and then obviously the new connectors. But other than that, um, it's basically where I want it. All the other upgrades from this point on is basically just gonna be like cosmetic and bling. Like I might get the aluminum rocker push arms or something like that. But yeah, looks fantastic, and the color scheme actually matches the red now, so that's also pretty cool. Um, But yeah, I'm pretty happy with this thing, and I can't wait to drive it in this new setup. Um, and of course, as always, when I do, I will whip out my camera and show you guys this thing putting around. So, if you guys enjoyed this video, please give me a like, subscribe, comment down below, all the good YouTube shenanigans, and I will see you guys next time.